Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shells, nuts, light stars, peasants, vassals, meat sacks, delegates. I'm a useful idiot, and I watched and or listened to the Republican National Convention so that you don't have to. I'll tell you all about it, and I'll try and wrap this up in about 5 minutes. So, what a spectacle. Low on production values, kind of that classic look going back 30, 40, 50 years to all the glory days of all the Republican conventions. They all kind of end up looking the same, don't they? So we had the parade of junior bootlickers. They all gave their 2-minute speeches, basically telling us who their corporate sponsors were, from the coal industry to AIPAC and Israel to corn and ethanol subsidies. So that was all right. And then you got to the big stars at the end, including the debt clock. They had the Obama debt clock so that everyone could see how much money was being spent while the convention was going on. But of course, ignoring the fact that tens of millions of dollars were actually spent on this convention, for example. And so we had an interesting lineup towards the end. Of course, Mark Rubio came out and gave his story, Rising Young Star, and kind of their proto-Tea Party representative. And then Paul Ryan came out, and he gave his speech, and he seemed a little out of place, but he was pretty happy with himself, and he told that bald-faced lie again about the GM plant that closed in his state, and he's still saying that this happened as a result of Obama policies, when in actuality this plant closed in 2008 under George Bush. And Paul Ryan knows this, and he's been called on it, but he continues to tell that lie. But I think this is a good sign, because he's laying a foundation for lies and deception should he get elected as vice president. And this will be a good foundation to have once he launches further into his political career. So then you have Clint Eastwood, the awkward, weird uncle. And so he came out and managed to kind of get some sort of speech out, and the crowd loved it, of course. But one has to ask the question. So they don't have room for Ron Paul, but they have room in the Final Four lineup for Clint Eastwood, a Hollywood actor and director and Hollywood icon. So anyway, so then we get to Mitt Romney. And then Mitt Romney gave his speech, and as usual, it was just full of jingoism, slogans, political rhetoric, vague promises. None of it really had any meaning. And so anyway, he managed to spend a whole lot of time talking about and blaming Obama for everything, while he mentioned that Obama blamed everything on Bush. So of course that inane, unending cycle of the blame game will continue, and he's picking up the mantle there as well. And then he also spent a lot of time talking about himself. So Mitt Romney is still selling himself as a brand, as a product, and he did a pretty good job of that. And then you contrast that with the Ron Paul rally, because I watched the Ron Paul speech at his own convention, and he managed to speak for an hour and a half and not mention either Barack Obama or Mitt Romney once. And in fact, he just talked about ideas and policies and concepts all night. I felt like I was in the presence of an adult talking to adults about adult issues. But anyway, going back to Mitt Romney, so here we have the same old rhetoric, the same old song and dance, and we have the same old GOP lapping it up. And the platform is basically, don't kill fetuses, God bless everyone except for the infidels, Obama sucks ass, and we want war on everyone and everything, and then, of course, free lunches for crony capitalists. So that's the basic GOP platform, which incidentally is the same as the Democratic platform. And so that's what kind of bullshit that we had to wade through all for 4 days at the Republican National Convention, right up to the slam bang finish of maximum bullshit action. And I think one thing that's even more staggering than the fact that they can have a convention that's literally 4 days of unending bullshit is the fact that we have an entire industry that in print and in television and on the internet that actually takes this bullshit seriously and spends endless hours analyzing this bullshit like it actually means something. Pretty staggering. Sometimes I feel like I'm from another planet. And then the final icing on the cake of this debacle is the fact that here's an entire political process and election campaign that was orchestrated fraud by the Republican National Committee, by the Mitt Romney campaign, through all 50 states that goes right up to and includes this Republican National Convention. It is outrageous, and yet the Republican status quo party is fine with it. So here their convention is built on the rotting corpse of an actual democratic election process, and the whole place stank of it. The people that were responsible for it gave speeches and were applauded, and they should have been booed off the stage. But once again, here's another precedent being set by the status quo GOP and the Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan ticket, and that is that hypocrisy will still be the coin of the realm, deception will still be the coin of the realm, and the means justifies the ends. There is no honor. I am a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.